Hey everyone, it's Frank, and today we're going through some crucial Louisiana Class D license test questions. These are fundamental for staying safe and compliant on the road. Let's start. When driving, what is the safest practice regarding distracted driving? Avoid all distractions, including cell phone use. Staying focused on the road is paramount for everyone's safety. Okay, next. What does a red arrow signal mean? Stop until the green arrow or light appears. A red arrow means no turns in that direction until it changes. Moving on. When driving on a multi-lane highway, which lane should you generally use for normal driving? The rightmost lane. This helps keep the left lanes clear for passing and faster traffic flow. Let's consider this. What does a pedestrian crossing sign look like? Yellow diamond with a person walking. These signs alert you to areas where pedestrians may be crossing. Right then, when following another vehicle, what is the minimum safe following distance you should aim for in good weather? Maintain at least a 3-second following distance. This gives you enough time to react and stop safely. What's next on our list? What action should you take at a flashing yellow light? Slow down and proceed with caution. It's a warning to be alert for potential hazards. All right, let's keep going. What is the primary purpose of traffic laws? To ensure public safety and orderly movement of traffic. These rules are designed to prevent collisions and keep traffic flowing smoothly. Here's something else. What does a solid yellow line on your side of the center line indicate? You are not permitted to pass. This marking means it's unsafe or illegal to cross into the opposing lane. Let's talk about this. If you are involved in a collision, what should you do first? Secure the scene and check for injuries. Your immediate priority is to prevent further harm and assess the well-being of those involved. Plenty more to cover. What does a stop sign require you to do? Come to a complete stop behind the stop line. A full stop means no rolling through the intersection. What's the next point? What is the legal blood alcohol content beat limit for drivers under 21 in Louisiana? 0.02%. Louisiana, like many states, has a zero tolerance policy for underage drinking and driving. Let's consider this. When approaching a railroad crossing with flashing lights, what must you do? Stop at least 15 feet from the tracks. Never try to beat a train. Always stop well clear of the tracks. Moving right along. What does a yellow diamond-shaped sign with a curved arrow mean? A curve is ahead. These are warning signs to alert you to changes in the road's alignment. Something to think about. When parking uphill with a curb, which way should your front wheels be turned? Away from the curb. If your brakes fail, this will allow the vehicle to roll back into the curb, preventing it from rolling into traffic. Time for a new question. What is hydroplaning? Your tires lose contact with the road due to water. This happens when a layer of water builds up between your tires and the road surface, causing a loss of traction. Let's tackle the next item. What type of pavement marking indicates a shared left turn lane? Solid yellow lines inside broken yellow lines. This lane is for left turns from both directions, not for through traffic. All right, shifting gears now. What does a pedestrian using a white cane or guide dog usually indicate? The pedestrian is blind or visually impaired. You must always yield the right of way to them. What's next on our list? What is the purpose of a yield sign? To require drivers to give way to other traffic. You must slow down and allow cross traffic or merging traffic to proceed before you do. Let's dig into this one. What should you do if your vehicle begins to skid? Steer gently in the direction you want to go. Look and steer in the direction of your intended path to regain control. Plenty more ground to cover. What is the maximum speed limit in a school zone in Louisiana during designated hours? 20 miles per hour. Lower speeds are enforced in school zones to protect children. Consider that. When are you permitted to pass a school bus with flashing red lights and an extended stop arm? Never, unless on a divided highway. You must stop in all other scenarios to ensure student safety. Next up for discussion. What does a blue rectangular sign typically signify? Motorist services. These signs point out gas stations, hospitals, rest areas, and other services. Here's a thought for you. How far before a turn should you activate your turn signal? At least 100 feet. This gives other drivers ample warning of your intentions, something to remember. What does a red circle with a diagonal line mean? The action shown is prohibited. This is a universal symbol for no or do not. Let's move on. What is the implied consent law? You agree to take a breath or blood test if suspected of DUI. By driving on public roads, you automatically consent to these tests if lawfully requested. Keep this in mind. When driving at night, how far ahead should your headlights illuminate the road? At least 450 feet for high beams or 250 feet for low beams. Proper headlight use is crucial for visibility and safety after dark. Don't panic. What should you do if your gas pedal sticks while driving? Shift to neutral, apply brakes, and pull off the road safely. This is a critical emergency maneuver to prevent uncontrolled acceleration. That's a critical point. What does a yellow diamond-shaped sign with two arrows going in opposite directions mean? Two-way traffic. This warns you that a single-direction road or divided highway is ending and you'll encounter oncoming traffic. Time for another. When must you yield to an emergency vehicle with flashing lights and sirens? When they are approaching or are in your lane. Pull to the right and stop immediately to let them pass safely. Let's dive into the next question. What does a solid white line between lanes of traffic indicate? Discourages lane changes, separates same direction traffic. It indicates that lane changes are discouraged or prohibited. It's a fundamental technique. What is the penalty for a first offense of driving while intoxicated DWI in Louisiana? Includes fines, jail time, and license suspension. Penalties for DWI are severe due to the serious danger it poses. Very important for night driving. What is the purpose of rumble strips on the side of the road? To alert drivers if they drift off the roadway. The vibrations and noise are designed to wake up drowsy or distracted drivers. Safety first. What does a brown rectangular sign indicate? Public recreation and scenic guidance. These signs typically direct you to parks, historical sites, or scenic routes. Proper signaling is crucial. What should you do if you hear or see an emergency vehicle that is stopped with its lights flashing on the shoulder? Move to a lane not adjacent to the emergency vehicle or slow down. This is Louisiana's move over law, designed to protect emergency personnel. Essential knowledge. What does a square white sign with a black arrow curving right and only mean? Vehicles in this lane must turn right. This is a regulatory sign indicating a mandatory lane action. Always check. When driving in heavy rain, what should you do? Slow down, increase following distance, and use low beam headlights. Low beams prevent glare and help others see you without blinding them. Important for compliance. What does a red X above a lane on a freeway indicate? The lane is closed to traffic. Never enter a lane marked with a red X. Recognize the danger. What is the correct hand signal for stopping or slowing down? Left arm extended downward. This is used when your brake lights aren't visible or are malfunctioning. Systematic approach. What does a yellow diamond-shaped sign with a deer symbol indicate? Deer crossing ahead. These signs warn of areas with active wildlife. Always be aware of your vehicle's dynamics. What is the purpose of safety belts in a vehicle? To keep occupants securely restrained in case of a collision. Seat belts are your most important safety device, essential for secure connections. When parking on a hill, what should you do with your vehicle's wheels after setting the parking brake? Turn them appropriately to use the curb or roadside if the brake fails. This adds an extra layer of safety to prevent runaway vehicles. Good to know. What should you do if your vehicle's brakes fail? Pump the brake pedal rapidly, shift to a lower gear, and use the parking brake cautiously. These steps can help you slow down and stop safely in an emergency. Better stability. What does a diamond-shaped sign with an arrow pointing right and then abruptly down mean? Lane ends or narrows. This warns you that your lane will soon merge or terminate. Systematic approach. What is the minimum age to obtain a Class D chauffeur's license in Louisiana? 17 years old. A Class D license is for driving certain types of commercial vehicles that aren't heavy trucks. Highest priority. What is the best strategy for avoiding a head-on collision? Steer right towards the shoulder or ditch. It's generally safer to hit a soft shoulder than to risk a head-on impact. Stay compliant. What does a green rectangular sign with white lettering typically indicate? Guide signs, directions, exits, distances. These signs help you navigate and find your destination. Driver responsibility. How close to a fire hydrant are you legally allowed to park? No closer than 15 feet. This ensures firefighters have clear access in an emergency. Never take risks. What should you do if you witness aggressive driving? Avoid eye contact, give the driver plenty of room, and report unsafe behavior. Don't engage. Prioritize your safety and that of others. Always be aware of your vehicle's dynamics. What is the purpose of orange colored signs? To warn of construction or maintenance zones. Orange signs mean slow down and be prepared for workers and equipment, essential for secure connections. What does a yellow triangular sign with a railroad crossbuck symbol indicate? Railroad crossing ahead. This sign warns you to be alert for train tracks. Good to know. What should you do if you are being tailgated? Increase your following distance. This gives you more room to react without braking suddenly, forcing the tailgater to adjust. Better stability. What does a white rectangular sign with "Do not enter" mean? You are not allowed to enter this road or ramp. This is a critical regulatory sign to prevent wrong way driving. Systematic approach. What should you do if your vehicle starts to power slide, rear wheels lose traction? Ease off the accelerator and counter steer. This helps you regain control when the rear of the vehicle begins to slide out. Highest priority. What is the purpose of a crosswalk? To designate a safe area for pedestrians to cross the street. Always yield to pedestrians in a crosswalk. Stay compliant. What is the Louisiana move over law? Requires drivers to move over a lane or slow down for stopped emergency vehicles. This law protects law enforcement, emergency responders, and tow truck operators on the roadside. Driver responsibility. And that wraps up our review of these essential general driving knowledge questions. Mastering these rules and safe practices is key for every driver, no matter what kind of vehicle you operate. Keep studying and drive safely out there.